Kabam dropped the ball with a banquet event for some players. Bad communication this time, ladies and gentlemen. A new EOP or endgame content is on the way to the game in early next year. Kabam actually give a little bit of a teaser of what is to come. A big roundup of other matters concerning the banquet event. Not being able to put in points, the greater banquet crystal offer and the unit store giving points, and so much more. It's hump day, everybody. Hello everybody, welcome back to the MCN for Wednesday. We've got a jam-packed show of information and things that are going on from around the community. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all that lovely stuff, especially because we've got some fun videos coming out between now and the end of the year, including M returning back 2 times on the channel, which is really exciting. Let's kick off the show with an EOP kind of continuation, but also the next endgame content. That's the thing that a lot of players are interested in. Something that's well rewarded, similar to the way EOP was well rewarded at the end of it. And as well, you know, a lot of players talking about, well, the scale of things. As we talking about the Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of grief, which depends if this is something that this is actually going to like fall within. But it should be a case that acceptance is or could be the conclusion of EOP. And what acceptance will be, could be the next quest. But in any case, there has been an answer from Kabam Mike, who says, as announced in the original post, there were 4 iterations of Eternity of Pain, and we've just completed the 4th one. However, you know there are 5 stages of grief, and acceptance is yet to come. There's something in the works, but it won't be in the same format with EOP has been so far. Oh, something new, the Casper Slide Part 2, featuring the Platinum Band. You can look forward to it in January 2023, so that's when it will potentially start. I guess we'll start hearing a few things soon. It may be a case there's an announcement soon on this one, but yeah, there's something being cooked up, especially for people to spend their revives. Maybe units, maybe health potions, and all those other things. Will you be able to use relics? Banquet event roundup time. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that's dropped, as we know, with the banquet event. And whether or not you're getting involved or not, there's some good scope for some free stuff for players to pick up. But there are a few things that have gone wrong in its one major thing that's gone wrong with it. Very disappointing to hear a lot of well, not a lot, but this particular thing has gone wrong. But we've got a few things to go over in this particular segment and bring all the kind of like details and data to the situation. One of the first things is that if you are looking to qualify for milestone and rank rewards within alliances, this is something that we talked about last month about preparation for this. As you would have had to have, if you were planning to join a new alliance, there would have been a grace period in which all kind of blacklisted period, I don't know what to really refer to it as, a time between you have to, I think it was like 14-day window of you joining an alliance in order to contribute points. And this is why that if you, and you will, some people will come close to it, at a certain point you will be able to kind of start contributing points, but you'll come up with this marker right here. So this particular player has, you will qualify for milestone and rank rewards in 2 days, 22 hours, because you recently joined this alliance. There's definitely been a question as to like, well, what happens if I start just contributing points in any case? Will it tally, number 1, with the alliance? And number 2, will you be able to get the rewards back that you contribute for your points in those 2 days and 22 hours effectively, or whenever your yellow marker goes? And Kabam have confirmed that you should not get involved with it. If you want to contribute points, and as well if you want to get involved with stuff, you should wait until your time is up. So if you've got that yellow marker, and I'm pretty certain there will be people out there that may have rushed out for it. You know, if you are still kind of like wanting to get this question answered, then that kind of gives you the answer right there. You cannot contribute points or collect rewards before that timer runs out. Wait until the 2 days and 22 hours are up before purchasing and opening your crystals. So yeah, that hopefully gives you an idea with that one. That's the first thing we've got to talk about. The second thing we've got to talk about is the greater banquet crystal in the spending side of things, so the unit spending. I'm not spending. I've got my free-to-play units, so I'm farming more over the course of the month and going to invest in more into the event. But for those that want to spend any money in the game and you want to get the Greater Banquet Crystal times 10 for $50, then you want to find out whether or not this will allow contribution to points, because technically this should be, once opened, 40,000 extra points. And I saw in a message from Kabam yesterday that it should count towards those points. If you feel that you have not got 40,000 extra points as a result of opening these particular ones here, if you spent money, then do get in contact with Kabam. I think it's important to raise a ticket for it, because it should offer the 4,000 points, the 30k for the purchase, and then the additional 10k for the opening. So it should be 40k points you should get from this. That's just what I saw from a message yesterday from Kabam on the matter. It's not in the forums, but it would be nice if they could just answer on here. But you know, as I said, I've seen it. They've said it should give you all the points. And where do we begin with? And where did we begin with Kabam's Major L of yesterday? Kabam's Major L came in the shape and form of the gifting badge not being given out to Conqueror players. And that was really bad. It was really bad because they gave the impression from previous posts that you would be fine to receive the gifting badge and then get involved with things like the accolades and stuff like that. The accolades in particular is an event that gives 10,000 free points. So losing out on that was disappointing, and especially for this particular event. I'm just going to kick things off because we've got like quite a few things. We've got a response from Kabam Mike. We've got an official post from Kabam on the matter. The first will start though is unfortunately there was an error in communication. However, accounts that meet both qualifications before the event ends will be able to participate. So yeah, like if you're willing to try, you will be able to kind of get there. But we'll have to, again, like we'll read off the post right now. This, I believe, has gone out in messages to people. I don't think I've got one in game at the moment. I'll have to check. But there was a miscommunication regarding the conditions of the Banquet and Accolade event. Some earlier messaging contained wrong information on which summoners will receive a gifting badge. To obtain a gifting badge during this event, summoners must have joined prior to November 21st, 2022 and have achieved the rank of Conqueror and be at least level 40. If you meet this criteria at any time during the Banquet and Accolades event, you'll receive the gifting badge in an in-game mail message. We believe this is attainable by many relatively quickly. So I would say get your XP boosts on and go and do some content. I know it's like saying like, you know, oh, just do the thing, and it's not great. Like, I get it, but this is the problem. If Kabam the developer are saying, "No, we're not budging on this and we can't retrospectively deal with it," then sadly you will have to go out and, if you're a Conqueror, to go and do it. So it's annoying. I get it, I really do, but that's something that sadly well, not sadly, it's just annoying. It's a bit annoying. So it's more annoying because it's a miscommunication, and that's the thing. From a developer that earns hundreds of millions of dollars a year, this stuff needs to be kind of like pinpoint accuracy with things, especially for the money being earned. Further to that, it did expand to like Kabam Mike kind of like weighing in on the situation to kind of like not smooth things over, but kind of like just first of all apologize, which is a very rare Kabam apology. So that's something of a rarity. First, I want to apologize for this situation. There was one set of information that we were operating on, and even after internal clarification, as my throat goes, it turned out to be wrong. This was the cause of the whole mess, which unfortunately we cannot change. We explored changing the conditions on this as soon as we realized our mistake, but that will result in many more complications for an event that is already running, and many people have made a lot of progress. So they found out when it was running. Damn. We are human and we will make mistakes, especially as we strive to communicate with you as much as we can. We have to act on the information that we have available to us and aren't able to ask the game team every question as it is asked. They just don't have the time for that. That's disappointing, because the games developers for the games developer I work for are very, very good at answering questions. Actually, a lot of them get involved with things that I do, and everyone gets involved with other things other people do. So that's a shame. We strive to be as accurate with our information as possible and make as few communication errors as we can, and we are very sorry that this one slipped through the and affected our players. And maybe I was wrong with my assessment of how easy it is to obtain level 40. There's a player here saying that level 40 is harder to get than people think. I grinded for 2 to 3 hours with a 50% boost with max XP mastery using 15 plus full energy refills and gained around 2.75 levels from 32 to 34. It takes a lot of time. Well, I tell you what, that may be an issue that Kabam might need to look into then, because it might be it changes the parameters a lot. How about pushing an XP boost that runs for the rest of the event, which triples XP gained to those? That's not too much of a bad idea, to be honest. I think a solution, at least a decent compensation, would be to give people who would have otherwise qualified for beefy XP boost and some energy refill, so they can at least try to push through to reach level 40. It's an idea. So definitely disappointing. This whole situation is, a mistake. Even Kabam are saying, like, they're sorry for the mistake. It will not, I don't think it will receive anything like compensation or any kind of help for those that may be of lower than level 40 and looking to get up to level 40. And I think Kabam obviously are taking the L and kind of going like, man, this is bad. I mean, this is when things need to be checked, triple checked, double checked, triple checked. And look, even I make mistakes in videos and information, and I would say I'm only human. But the difference is, like, I don't work for well, I say now, I was going to say, like, I don't work for a company that is worth X amount of money that is and has the resource. But to be honest, if Kabam made the layoffs they did, then look. Is it resourced in a way that would have somebody to triple check, double check, triple check, and also having members of the team. If the game team have not got the time to answer against stuff that, say, community managers and other people within the game, then there's bad communication internally that needs to be dealt with. That's one of the key things. Management level need to look at this and go like, do you know, why aren't these departments able to communicate each other in a snappy kind of fashion? It's like that. This is a game that's live at the moment. It needs to be snappy, it needs to be quick, it needs to be effective, it needs to be efficient, and all those things as well, especially from, like, looking at this from an outside perspective. And with all that stuff out the way, it's time to do arena predictions. We've got Star-Lord and we've got Wiccan in your basic this week. So predictions wise, I'm going with 6-star Star-Lord, or as I like to put it, the Lord of Stars. It just doesn't look right if I put 6-star Star-Lord. So I just put 6-star Lord of Stars. I'm going with 80 mil. I think this will be a very straightforward arena. It may be a case it breaks the 100 mil mark, but it's difficult to say because it is the Christmas weekend, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So I don't know if people are going to be interested to grind or not. The 5-star one, 35 mil. Again, this is just standard of what, like, other kind of like cut-offs are, especially for non-new champions. The Wiccan one is a bit of a potentially, like, a difficult one to predict, especially when you look at Hulkling recently. Position 75 was 112 mil. Will people want to grind extensively for Wiccan? Yes, I think it'd be popular. Yes, I think it's the first time going into the basic. Will it get anything that will be, and like 80 mil is still quite high. It's really high in the basic arena. Will players go for that particular number? Maybe. So the 5-star is easier to predict at 22 mil. So yeah, that's what I'm going with that. And thank you as well to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon. You're on screen right now. Thank you so much. Also those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. Make sure to get that Prime sub back in, and I'll see you in the live stream tomorrow. Maybe today. I'm just trying to keep it easy with the throat, just so I don't blast it out, and I've got more recordings to do. And finally, check out some other content located on screen right now. I've got one more Banquet Event related video to talk about, but apart from that, that's going to be it for me when it comes to Banquet Event coverage. Just now going to be crystal openings and having a good time and good vibes in the future. Cheers everybody, have a good day, bye bye.